Hello, magical people. My name is Lumenyxx, and I would like to wish you the happiest of prides, the happiest of summer solstices, and the happiest of strawberry full moons. It is a time where there is just an awful lot going on. And so in this video, I'm going to just talk a little bit about the sort of prevailing energies right now. I am going to keep it very simple, quite frankly. I did not look into the specific astrology at all, like 0%, because it has just been busy. Girl, it has just been busy. But I did, especially because the summer solstice is such a beautiful time and the energy is so just gorgeous and luscious and delicious. And along with that, coinciding with the strawberry full moon, I just wanted to, of course, those things always happen in June, which is always Pride Month. But like with the convergence of just all of this really big, beautiful, bright energy, I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of a pick a card reading. So I'm going to be chatting for a few minutes about the energy and maybe chatting a few minutes about just what I've personally been up to lately. And then there will be a couple or a few readings to choose from. It depends on how we're doing on time here. But there will be timestamps below, so you can just sort of skip around the video as your little heart desires. And I don't even have any tokens for any of the readings, quite frankly. So when I get to the readings portion, we're just gonna have to go and sort of see and feel if it feels to you like the first reading is it, or the second reading is gonna be it. Just let your intuition sort of guide you. While the tokens can sometimes be a really helpful tool to aid you in assisting or aid you in tuning in with your intuition, the actual presence of tools is almost always just an added extra. The only thing that is actually really necessary is you. So anyhow, we are going to keep it simple right now because just like I said, there is so much energy out there right now. And maybe, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that as we are approaching the solstice, of course, is the 2 times of year in the summer solstice when the amount of daylight in a 24-hour period is at its peak. And then of course, the winter solstice is when the amount of daylight hours during a 24-hour period is at its low point. So they are indicative of the swelling of energies. And in this case, with the summer solstice, we are moving into this energy of the most light. So it can feel a little frenetic. And I'm using the word frenetic specifically here to differentiate from frantic, because although those words are similar, they have some subtle differences. Both of these words speak to there being a faster pace to life, there being a lot of activity happening. And this doesn't even have to be like physically doing of things. This could just be things firing off in your brain. You're particularly aware of how you're feeling about things right now. It could show up in any which way, but regardless, it is the energy of a lot of things happening. And having moved out of the winter time and through spring, it's been an ever increase of the amount of daylight, the amount of seeing, the amount of maximum energy. And as you all know, I'm a gardener, which is one of the things that has been sort of taking up a huge amount of my time since my last video, which was quite some time ago. Sorry guys, hi, how you been? Missed you, love you. Thank you for showing back up and watching this video after such a long absence. But anyhow, I'm a huge gardener and I just really I went just bananas with germination this year. And so I just have just so many plant babies, like hundreds of plant babies that I've germinated, in addition to all of the perennials that are in the yard. And oh, I forgot to point it out, but by the way, in celebration of it being Pride and the full moon and solstice and all of this just good, delicious juice in the air, I did sparkle myself up a little bit for you. So if you've been thinking that you've been seeing something, you are not imagining it. I just decided to get a little fancy just for this video. Anyhow, what was I saying? So yes, so the garden has just been consuming a lot of time, and it's funny, well, or not funny, but it is wonderful. I love when I can see like the way things have been traditionally named or observed, how I can sort of see those things showing up in my microcosm. And here, what I am talking about is the strawberry full moon, and I have a lot of strawberries in my yard. My June-bearing ones, for all of you real fans that even know what I'm talking about, I germinated some June-bearing ones from seed, I don't know, a year or two ago, and those ones are now much bigger than they were, but still no fruit this year. I'm letting them just kind of like focus on vines so I can have more babies because I'm greedy like that. But all of the other ones, the ever-bearing strawberries, I have them kind of in the side yard and in the backyard. And it has been just, oh my God, like literally a delicious time of year. Like I've never had this many. Last year wasn't a very big production year, but I think because of the sort of protracted springtime we've had, where it hasn't gotten super hot for a prolonged period of time, it cools down every night. We've had at least sporadic rain pretty consistently up until like yesterday or the day before. So, you know, all of that put together has just made for a just banger of a strawberry season. And so, yeah, I've been spending a lot of time in the garden, and for any of you that either spend time in a garden or have just been looking around about what's going on outside right now, you can also see that same frenetic energy of expansion and growth playing out all around us in the plant world. And so it's just really, yeah, it really is a time of letting things unfurl a little bit, you know, imagining yourself as a flower, or if perhaps the imagery of a flower doesn't feel appropriate to you, perhaps a tree, or some other plant creature, and you just sort of imagine that, you know, as they sort of unfold towards the sun, you know, they stretch out their leaves towards the sun, and they are just catching all of that good energy so that that can promote this sense of growth during this time of year. So it is really like literally and physically in the natural world, as well as, I think, if you so choose, it can also be so metaphysically, just a time of real growth or exploration, which is just another different kind of growth. And again, these can be like physical explorations, going and doing, or it can even be thinking about new things, exploring new ideas, exploring new emotional experiences. As I said, everything can always show up a huge variety of ways. It can even be in exploring new artistic endeavors. It's just very much this idea of trying out something a little bit new, letting yourself as a spiritual being unfold a little bit more and open up to all of the richness that this life has available to us. And that can be even in a very small way, you know, like I'm literally here talking about like getting my hands dirty in the ground and having that be a real metaphor for, you know, the way I grow my garden, what I learn about the things that I'm taking care of in the garden, you know, even though that's not really like a big exploration, it's like literally like 8 feet away, you know, that can be a practice of exploration. So anyhow, yeah, so that has been a lot of what I've been up to during this time, and as well, I have been on a new personal adventure. I have decided to, I'm not really sure the right language to use here, but I am an aspirant with the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, which are a worldwide organization that I had long been familiar with, but only recently kind of had a more personal experience with, and then decided to explore becoming a part of this organization. And that also has been, so far, just even in the 2.5 months that I've been doing that, that has also been definitely a point of growth and expansion, and learning a lot of new things and exploring a lot of new things, and sometimes exploring some old things. So I'm still pretty new into the journey. I won't talk a whole lot about it right here because I do want to jump into the readings. But, you know, just to sort of let you know what I've been up to, since I was getting kind of regular with my videos for a while, and then I completely just fell off the map. Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, it's been a really busy time, all sorts of good things happening, and I hope the same is also true for you. So we're going to just go ahead and dive right into the readings now, because yeah, like I said, it's a busy time, and I only have a limited amount of time that I set aside to create this video, and I want to get at least 2 readings in. Okay, before I dive into the readings, I have decided that there are going to be just 2 readings to choose from today. So again, no tokens, take what resonates, leave the rest as always, and you're more than welcome to watch both of them if you'd like. And yeah, that's it. See you in the reading. So we're going to start right off with reading 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and keep it simple, but we'll see how it goes. I've got 2 oracle decks and 2 tarot decks, and I'm going to start actually with an animal oracle card. I think I love this deck. This is a terrific deck, and I don't know, I feel like I oftentimes will pull an oracle card towards the end. I'm just kind of feeling like I want to pull them towards the beginning and let that sort of set the stage. And this is just very general messages for you at this time. So I'm really not sure what's going to come up. I'm not asking any specific questions. And this is more just a messages for you to hear, or energies that you're being called to maybe focus your gaze on a little bit, or at least notice. So for reading 1, we are going to start off with, oh, I love it, Coyote Spirit. Trust in divine detours. And I feel like this is very much going along with the theme of what I was talking about earlier with regards to exploration. And so, like, even if you have something that you have in mind right now that you think is going to be the thing that you explore, that perhaps that will actually lead, that little rabbit hole will lead you to a warren. And from that rabbit warren, there will be other unexpected rabbit holes to venture forth from, and just sort of trusting in that. And I think, you know, somebody said to me years ago to just follow the resonance. It was an Akashic record reading that I was getting for myself. And I think this was even before COVID, actually. And that's something, it's a phrase that I've ruminated on and thought about and spent time with lots since then. And I feel like that's the same sort of energy here, is that trusting, just like when something, if you allow yourself to sort of have an open dialogue with various aspects of yourself and your own personal truth, then you can be aware when that part of you is encouraging you in a certain direction. Sometimes subtle, sometimes very subtle, but that doesn't mean it's not there. And for the 3 tarot cards, I was only going to pull 1, but 3 fellows, so 3 it is, my friend. We have first the 2 of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. And then we also have, this is interesting, we also have the Knight of Swords. And like both of these 2 cards, and the 3rd card, just to not keep you waiting too long, is the 9 of Cups. But I want to talk first about these 2 cards, because both of these cards have a lot of activity in them. You know, the Knight of Swords is very quick moving energy. It is swords, so it's not necessarily things happening fast. in the physical world, although, you know, a lot of times this is kind of with regards to, you know, like circumstances changing very quickly, or ideas and thoughts changing very quickly. And with the Two of Pentacles, this one is a bit more grounded because it's Pentacles. So this can very much be that there's literally just a lot going on, like as I was sort of talking about with myself, and just this time of year and this expansive sunlight and having more daylight time available, all of that good stuff. It may just be that there's a lot going on. And also this Nine of Cups here. Let's spend a second with this one, because the Nine of Cups is very much a card of self-appreciation and self-love and recognizing all of the beautiful bounty around you that you have worked so hard for, and patting yourself on the back and giving yourself a little hug and just acknowledging all of the hard work that you've put in to create the goodness that there is around you up until this point. And that doesn't mean that you were solely responsible for creating it. Maybe you were, maybe you weren't. But even if it wasn't solely your creation, we all participate in the circumstances around us. And like, what good things there are in your life are there because of you. And you should have appreciation for yourself about that. So I feel like there is both a lot of abundance with a lot going on, and also this moment of like, the path thus far, you've learned that you can sort of trust yourself, maybe more than you even thought that you could. And sort of combining that with this like trusting the detours, I feel like maybe there's some gentle encouragement here to continue your explorations and to remember that even if they lead to new territory, and again, you know, with it being Pride, you know, maybe there will be some revelations about yourself, or things that you could have the opportunity to learn about yourself, maybe about your sexuality, maybe about your identity, could be, maybe not, who knows. But point is that there are a lot of opportunities to learn new things, both about yourself or the world, or to do new things, or to explore new ideas, and that you know, you've gotten to a level of discernment right now, so you can rest assured that as you explore these new things, that you can sort of trust your gut. You can trust the experience that you've gained thus far to keep you moving in the direction that is right for you. Okay, so now I'm going to pull another oracle card. Ooh, did you see that? It just fucking flew right out. Okay. All right. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. And this is a reminder that I know I have needed myself many times over the past years, because it's kind of like, you know, hearkening back to this Nine of Cups energy. Like, sometimes it actually can be quite difficult to give ourselves the props that we deserve for all of the work that we've done. And there can be some sort of like self-gaslighting that may come up with that, or self-doubt that may come up with that. And, you know, I feel like this card is really just wanting to reassure you that like, no, really, you can trust yourself. You can trust yourself to take detours. You can trust yourself because of all of the amazing things you've already done. You're already doing all the things that you're meant to be doing. So don't need to get too in your head about it, and don't need to, get too much in a fuss about how the details will unfold, which I understand can for some of us be a tall ask. Okay, so now let's pull a couple more. Ooh, okay, we've got the Nine of Spells too. Okay, and spells in other decks is known as wands. All right, that is interesting. I got it. And the bottom of the deck, man, my friends, my magical friends, we have the White Heart, which in other decks is known as the Fool. So that is the underlying energy here, is again this energy of newness, of facing something that is not quite clear and you're not sure, because see how it's all misty there in front of him? Like, he's ready to move forward. He's ready to step out into that meadow, even though the mists are there and he can't quite see yet what is on the other side. So that is the underlying energy. Again, that spirit of openness to things, ideas and experiences and whatnot. And then I feel like with the Nine of Spells, this is again showing up as a reminder that, like, you know, the Nine of Spells, otherwise known as the Nine of Wands, you know, in a lot of decks, well, maybe in all decks, this card does have certainly the energy of, you know, maybe feeling like you're getting a little beat up or a little put upon, or that maybe the burden is becoming just too heavy. But I feel like with this deck, one of the reasons why I love this deck so dearly, is that this deck is also, or this card rather, is also reminding you that you know how to cast your protective circle for yourself. So as you go on these new endeavors, especially if you are leaning into something that is new and maybe new equals a little bit scary for you, then this is again pushing back to that Nine of Cups energy, reminding you that you have skills. And so, you know, reminding you that, you know, even if new experiences in the past maybe didn't work out the best, and that's where that a little bit of that fear comes from, but that's okay because you learned from those experiences. And now as you're stepping into this new place, you do have all this discernment behind you. You are already doing it. You can trust yourself to have all of this new activity come in and feel like you're making the right choices with what you're doing, and feeling like you are being both firm within yourself and with having like boundaries with things. I mean, it is also possible that for some of you, I mean, it's summertime, could be summertime romance, or maybe just re-sparking an existing romance, because summer is a great time to do that. Whatever it is, whatever the energy is, whether it's another person or something more abstract or whatever, you know, as you do venture into these new spaces, you do have a lot more skills than you had before to make sure that you are getting the most from these new experiences, while using your maybe past negative experiences to bring what wisdom you've gleaned to them. Because that wisdom, like, I truly believe that, you know, I mean, the reason why I say hello magical people is because I do truly believe that we are all magic. And I think one of the joys of being human is our ability to put our magic on display. So share our magic with other people, show other people how to find their magic, basically being the, you know, being a candle in the darkness, not for other people, but for yourself, and with the benefit of casting enough light that other people can find their own candles. I probably just mixed up so many fucking metaphors there, but I think you get my point. Anyhow, magical group one, I am going to wrap that up for now. Again, happy Pride, happy Solstice, happy full moon. I hope the sweetest of summers for you. I don't know when I'll be back, but it'll be sometime. And until I see you next, of course, above all else, please don't forget to be kind and gentle with yourselves, and I will see you soon-ish. Hello, group 2, and welcome to your reading. And again, happy Pride, happy Solstice, happy full moon, all the good juice. Hope things have been going well for you. I am going to do just a simple reading. We're going to start with an oracle card, actually, and we are going to start with an animal oracle card, just to sort of get us going with the framework of what these messages are going to be sort of focused on here. Ooh, and we have Spider Spirit. Make your dreams real. Ooh, you are being called to action of some sort, or to at least planning your action. Because, I mean, if you've ever seen a spider web, you know that they are well thought out and systematic, but also done impulsively. So again, you know, hopefully more than one person is going to watch this reading. So I don't know whether it's going to be that you're being called to actually take action on something, or if you are being called to consider, plan, what your actions are going to be in the future. But one way or another, there is an ask here. Okay, so we're going to pull tarot card or two, just see what comes out. Last time I thought it was going to be 1 and it was 3, so we'll find out. And here, it is just 1. We have the 5 of Swords. Ooh, interesting. 5 of Swords is kind of discordant energy. It's kind of this energy of conflict, but not necessarily like, you know, it's swords. So it's not necessarily like fighting with people. It could just be literally a difference in opinion, or even with regards to yourself, it could be that you're having some internal cognitive dissonance about something or not, something or another, and it's feeling like there is only, like it's a binary choice, that you can, that there is only a sort of black and white to it. I'm actually gonna, I would like a supporting card for that 5 of Swords. Get a little bit more detail. Oh, well, we got 2. Oh boy. Okay, so we got the 9 of Swords, which is a card that indicates that there's some anxiety. Oh, but we also have the King of Pentacles. I see. All right. I get it. So with the Spider card, like I said, you're being asked to set the stage, or to take actions and actually putting the staging together. But it feels like you've got, with these 2 Swords cards coming up, there's like, these are the cards of anxiety, self-doubt, not feeling like you've made a decision, or that you've made the right decision, or that you don't know. Like there's something jagged about these energies, but they are swords. So this is, again, less about physical reality and more about the way that perhaps you are thinking about things. And then we have the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles, that is very much about like actual resources and skills and wisdom, and like, you know, this beautiful crow is sitting on this gorgeous throne and surrounded with all of this abundance. And it's not like it was just given to them for nothing. Like they rose up through the ranks. You know, this is the sort of pinnacle of the Pentacles energy in a lot of ways. So there's all of the prior experiences of the Ace of Pentacles all the way through that show up in that King and Queen energy. You know, they're kind of like at the top of that hierarchy. So I feel like maybe there's something about, with this make your dreams real, like there's something that you've been wanting to do, or something that you've been wanting to manifest in the world, or do, or engage in, or experience, but you're in your head about it in a way that is kind of like blocking you in a way. And so, you know, the cards are asking you to remember that, well, you don't need to invalidate your own experience in terms of your emotional understanding of yourself and the way you metacognate about yourself. It is also important to remember that that is not the entirety of reality, and that particularly if we are having moments of very serious self-doubt or a lot of anxiety, it's because there's some stuff there that's being highlighted for us to work on and work through, and so that we can move into that space of being able to manifest our dreams. So I feel like honestly, group 2, you're really being asked to shift your focus, if you can, to recognizing how awesome you are and how wise you are, and how many experiences that you've already had. And like, if this dream that you're being invited to make a reality is really, in actuality, a dream for you, then the moment you come to terms with owning it and owning that that's what you want, I feel like that's going to make a lot of the anxiety and a lot of the internal conflict recede. Okay, let's pull another oracle card here. So, yeah, and again, I feel like just the secondary, like just something that's popping in my head with this one here is, I don't know, it's like a literally like, no, really, but you can do this, you can do this. Okay, so let's see here. Ooh. Trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? And I feel like this is going back to these two cards, right? This is like I'm just going to use anxiety because it did come up with the Nine of Swords, and that's just something I've got so much experience with. But like, anxiety sucks. And my journey and my relationship with my anxiety has changed a lot over the years, like dramatically. And that doesn't mean that I don't have anxiety. I mean, I've had like literal actual panic attacks just in the past few weeks. But seriously, less than they used to be. And they, like, I know that I can trust myself to get through them. And there are times when what's the best way to put this? There are times when the anxiety shows up to point out something else, which feels ironic because I don't know, or not ironic, but just nonsensical, because like when I'm actively experiencing anxiety, it's very difficult to, you know, sort of like metacognate about anything. But in the aftermath, you know, and as I've been on this journey for so long, I can sort of see that like that terrible feeling, that feeling that anxiety showing up in the body feels like, it's just a thing that happens and it passes every time. And what it can tell me is it can invite me into the present moment and give me like a red alert indication that I need to engage in some self-care in a way, and that I need to take care of myself. And it's interesting, like I'm just noticing in this picture here, you know, the way this person, the center figure there, you know, she is sort of hugging herself as though she's trying to comfort herself from that uncomfortable feeling. So it's like, it's an opportunity to maybe dig a little bit, like gently and with as much care. But like, if you're noticing that there are certain anxieties that are coming up when you ponder something that is represented by making your dream come true. And again, this doesn't mean like your ultimate life dream. This could be like, you know, my dream for right now is to, you know, enroll in that class so that I can, you know, get that certificate, or to, you know, find a job that offers this, which I don't have at the job that I have right now. Like it can, this is not the end of the road, you know, this is just a step for the moment, you know, or to start a business, who knows, whatever it is, whatever your dream is. Oh, I got so much in my own head, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, well, sorry, just gone. But whatever your dream is, you can move forwards towards it. And oh, that's what I was going to say, is that as you're contemplating moving towards this goal that you have, try and maybe notice not just when anxiety shows up, but when specifically it shows up. Like, is it when you think about having to figure out a certain aspect of making your dream come true? Or is it about having to maybe speak up or do something that, like, it's going to challenge you in a way that maybe feels a little anxious? Like, notice when specifically, with regards to making this goal a reality, notice when specifically those anxieties come up, and just kind of try and, while giving yourself love and not negating them, try and maybe gently question a little bit more of if they are based on something that is real and likely to happen, or if this is just an acute fear showing up, keeping you from noticing or keeping you from getting to the experience of acute joy. All right. Oops. Oh, okay, they fell out, so I'm just going to use them. 2 cards fell out here. Ooh, interesting. We have the Lovers, which is beautiful energy, and could certainly be pointing to a partnership of some sort. Although, of course, the Lovers don't always point to romantic partnerships. They mostly are speaking to contracts, which, of course, we certainly can have contracts, covert or overt, with our partners, but it can also be just the energy that we are partnered with. So it could also be a job or a space or an idea. And then we also have the 7 of Challenges. So I feel like the big message here is that, like, by working through this anxiety, you are going to be working back to a place of balance and working back to a place of harmony, where there is a like mutually beneficial engagement with this energy that you're moving into, with this thing that you're going after, this dream, this goal, whatever it may be. So sort of investigating some of that anxiety or some of those discordant thoughts or cognitive dissonances, again, with the gentle wisdom of the King of Pentacles, investigating those is going to allow you to bring back this balance to things. And with the 7 of Challenges, I really feel like this is the energy of reclaiming. So I feel like, Group 2, I feel like there's a real opportunity coming up here around this really expansive time of year to, like, through making something that you want to happen, even though it's a new thing, you are also, like, reclaiming an aspect of yourself in the process. And that is a really beautiful message. So I'm not going to talk anymore because I think that's a perfect place to leave it. By moving towards making your dreams real, trusting that you know what to do with the uncomfortable feelings you have based on the wealth of experience you have behind you, learning to gently push back on some of those anxieties and really question them. That all allows you to, again, move towards that space of making real what you want to be real, and also moves to you having more internal balance within yourself and reclaiming an aspect of yourself in the process. That sounds beautiful. I think you're going to have a great time with this Group 2. As always, please don't forget to be kind and gentle with yourselves, and I will see you sooner or later. But until then, be well.